Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Naisha if you're new here, and in today's video we are actually starting a new series on my channel called Cake and Cocktails. So what it is I'm going to combine my love for cocktails with my love for makeup, aka cake, and we are going to create a cocktail together, and then we're going to do a makeup look inspired by that cocktail. Back in the day, I actually bartended my way through college. I am actually certified. I have a certificate. I have I was licensed in New York and New Jersey. Not anymore because I haven't bartended in about 15 years. But I am the resident bartender for my family. I've been keeping my skills sharp. So I decided that this will be a cute series for us to have. I will try for every Friday, if not every Friday, every other Friday. You know, mom life. I can barely get any time to do anything. And so if you think that's a great idea, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're not interested in the cocktail at all and you just want to see the makeup look, I'll put a timestamp on the screen so you can just jump over to the makeup if cocktails are not your thing. But if you're interested in making a nice little cocktail that we can sip while we do our makeup, please keep on watching. So for today's cocktail, I've actually been meaning to do this since Christmas. In one of my Shop With Me Christmas videos, I talked about my best friend who owns a company called Julian Fine Wine, and she also does gift baskets that includes her wine. The wine is back here. So she gifted me this basket way back in December for Christmas, and this is one of the smaller ones. They can get really, really large and elaborate. She custom packs the basket, like whatever you want you can let her know and she will custom make you a basket. I'll leave her Instagram on the screen and I'll link it down below if you're interested. So this is one of the smaller baskets that she did for Christmas. There's a candle, a body spray, body lotion, a shot of Ciroc because she knows I like that, and then one of the smaller bottles of her orange sangria. I'll show you that a little bit more in the end. And it comes in this beautiful metal basket and all nicely packaged. So if you want to treat yourself or if you want to gift it to someone else, you can ship it to whoever you need it sent to. Definitely check that out. Okay, so since we're not going to be using this right now, we'll put this away. And what we're really going to be focusing on is the orange sangria, and we're actually going to use this to make orange sangria. So this basically already has the flavors of orange sangria, etc., but I'm just going to amp it up a little bit, just a little bit. So she has, this is a mini bottle. This is not the regular size of a bottle. This is one of the mini bottles, and I believe this is $10. It's pretty well priced. So we're going to be using this today to make some orange sangria. So for today's sangria, we're going to need some oranges, which we're going to, side note, for all of you who have baby fever, this is what toddlers do. This is what they do. She just took a bite of the orange and kept it moving. Anyway, you're going to need some oranges. Then I got some blackberry flavored brandy. You can get whichever one you like. I also got some Grand Marnier. Again, this is optional. This is because I'm a little bit extra. Then of course we have our wine. We're gonna use a little bit of seltzer to make it a little bit more sparkly. This is a mango LaCroix. You can use whatever flavor you want. This is just what I have on hand. So the first thing I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna chop up one of the oranges and put it in a bowl and leave it to soak in the Grand Marnier. The thing about sangria is the longer it sits, the better it gets. That's where all the fruit and the alcohol and the juices, everything kind of melts together. It gets better and better. So, and I love to, at the end of my sangria, to chew on the fruit that's in there. So I like it to be a little bit, you know, have a little bit of oomph to it. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to chop up the orange and soak it in a bowl with the Grand Marnier. Okay, we're just going to cut it into little pieces like this and then dump it in a bowl. What's perfect about the sangria too is that, you know, Summer is coming up, and this is like a perfect summer sit on your porch, sit outside. It's easily transferable because you can mix it ahead of time. You have it in a closed container and you take it to a friend's house, or you go to some sort of event, some sort of bring your own event. All you gotta do is add ice to your glass and pour this, and you're good to just keep sipping all afternoon. Okay, so now we're going to take the Grand Marnier and we're going to pour it over the oranges. And we're just going to let this sit to the side while we do everything else. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to zest one of the oranges. So get yourself a zester if you have a zester. If not, if you have like a grater, like literally just grate it on the grater to get the zest off. What the zest is basically the orange part of the orange that has the oils and the essence and most of the flavor. The bitter part is the white part. We don't want the white part, we just want the orange part. So that's why when you use something like a zester, it helps to only get just the very, very tops of the fruit. We're just going to zest the orange right into a little bowl. So you just grate and turn. So as you can see, it's really just taking off the orange part of the orange. We're not getting down to the white. And this is what we get. While you're grating this too, you're zesting it, you're actually going to smell the orange essence. Very fragrant and goes really, really nicely in cocktails. Next, in the bowl with the zest, we're going to add some sugar. Then we're going to mix that up so that the zest is nice and coated. And then what you're also going to do is you're going to grab the sugar and squeeze it and rub it together like this. So what that's going to do is it's going to release the essences of the zest into the sugar. So now you see my sugar is getting yellow. So now all of the oils and the essences of the orange zest is going to mix in with the sugar. And this is the sugar that we end up with. So now what we're going to do with that is we're going to take our glass, and this is also a glass that I got from my friend in one of her gift boxes from sometime last year. It's a little glass that says "Let's Toast." I had 2 of them, but it's only me drinking today, so we're going to take the glass. We're going to take one of the pieces of orange and we're going to go around the rim of the glass to get it wet. Then we're going to take our sugar and we're going to spread it out on a plate. Next, we're going to rim our glass with that sugar. Make sure and get it on there, roll it around so that you get all that orange essence and a little bit of sweetness while you're drinking your sangria. And this is how pretty our glass looks so far. Okay, so now let's put the sangria together. It is actually really easy to do sangria. I'm just being a little bit extra because, you know what? We're in a pandemic and I think I really deserve something nice since we really can't go out and enjoy cocktails. But we're hoping this summer things will be a lot better. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to take an orange, the one my daughter bit, and we're going to cut it into slices. Then we're just going to place the slices into our carafe like this. If you want to get fancy and try and stick it to the side of the glass like that, you can do that too. And our last orange, we're going to juice it. If you have a fancy electric juicer, go for it. This is what I got. It's cute though. See, we got a little bit of orange juice. We have our carafe with the orange slices. Now we're going to add our oranges in the Grand Marnier. Pour the Grand Marnier first because we don't want to waste that. Ideally, you would want this to soak overnight, or I would want this to soak overnight. That's how I am. Try not to make a mess. Then we're going to pour in our orange juice. Then we're going to pour in our brandy. I have this blackberry flavored one. That's the only one I can find in this little size because I'm the only one drinking this. I don't need a lot. Then we're going to add our wine. And then we're going to top it off with our seltzer. Make it nice and fizzy. Oh, look at that. Ah, love it. And there we have our beautiful sangria. Beautiful blood orange type of color to it. So you can get an idea of what our eye look is going to look like. Look at it. So nice, beautiful sort of blood orange color. Yes. If you want to mix it up a little bit, you can, just give it a nice little mix. Kind of crush the oranges in there as well. Okay, so now we're going to grab our glass. We're going to add a couple blocks of ice. I like to add the ice to my glass and not to my sangria. And now we're going to pour our sangria. Be careful not to get the fruit in right away because that's what causes spillage. So we'll pour our sangria in. Then we'll go back in and grab some orange pieces and top our sangria. And here's our finished sangria. I'm going to use one of my reusable straws. Yes. Good. All the sangria flavors with a little bit of a kick in it. Tasting that blackberry brandy, that Grand Marnier. Of course, the point of putting sugar on the rim is to drink it straight from the rim. So let's do that. Now, because we got the essences of the orange out, the sugar is perfectly caramelized to the rim, so it's not going anywhere. So at least there won't be a lot of spillage, but it gives it a nice flavor. Feels like summer in a glass. All right, so here's our cocktail. This is the inspiration for our look. So now let's go do our makeup. Okay, so we have relocated. I have my sangria. Yes. Oh, so good. Tastes like summer in a glass. Anyway, so moving on to the makeup. As you can see, most of my face is already done. Today, we're just going to concentrate on the eyes, the cheeks, and the lips. I've already bronzed. My eyes are already primed. So for the face, I'm going to go in with, appropriately, the BH Cosmetics Vanilla Orange Truffle 4 Color Blush Palette. This is what it looks like. It smells like orange vanilla candy. It smells so good. There's 3 blushes in here, and there's also a highlight. It's a very subtle highlight, but I'm going to start with that first. I'm going to go in with this BH Cosmetics. It's my Ray Ray brush, and we're going to highlight the face. Bring some light to these cheeks. What do you guys think of the cocktail? Definitely let me know if you've ever done orange sangria before, or any kind of sangria. To me, sangria is a nice, easy drink, especially if you have like leftover wine and you don't know what to do with it, or you purchase a wine and you're not the fondest of it. I tend to do something like a wine spritz or a sangria with it to help zhuzh it up. I'm not the biggest fan of red wines, especially ones that are very oaky and earthy. So I always change those into sangria, and that's the only way I can enjoy it, with some Prosecco. All right, so you see the highlighting here is not too crazy, too bright, nice lit from within type of highlight. And for blush, I'm actually going to go into this one. It's pretty deep, but it's a nice sort of burnt orange, bronzy, terracotta. I'm describing it in so many ways. That is very pigmented. I went in with way too heavy hand, but we will fix it. Just gonna go over with my powder brush that I used earlier. It's a beautiful color, but I OD'd. It's a little bit better. Now I'm gonna have to OD on the other side, so at least it matches. I forgot how pigmented this palette is. It is OD pigmented. But this palette in particular is really good for deeper skin tones. And we all know BH Cosmetics is pretty affordable. And I think this palette is probably on sale by now for like $8 or $9. I have to go back and give it more highlight because I covered all the damn highlight with the blush. I OD'd. That happens sometimes. It's okay, we can bring it back. We can bring this back. You would think I had a lot of sangria. I literally had a couple sips. Okay, and I did have my face set before, so I'm going to go in with my H2O Beauty Oasis Quench Today Hydrating Mist. This looks completely beat up. I'm trying to finish this. It's almost done. I'm trying to finish it if it's not done already. Next, I want to go in with the lips. So I have this Julep Ultra Hydrating Lip Gloss in Boss. I got this on clearance at Target for like $3, and I used a couple other Julep stuff on my face. I use this Julep Cushion Complex 5-in-1 Skin Perfector with turmeric. And I actually really enjoyed this. I use this in my concealer. It's a nice, lightweight, not too crazy, overpowering concealer. Really enjoyed it. I want to try the lip gloss. I'm just going to go in with a lip liner. This is the Iman Cosmetics Perfect Eye Pencil in Nutbush that I use as a lip liner. And I'm going to go over top with the gloss. So we have a nice glossy, a little bit orangey, a little bit corally lip. Didn't want it to be too overpowering, more on the nudie side, because the eyes are going to be a little bright once we see what we're going to use. But before we go into the eyes, now we got to take a little sip. If you made your sangria, go ahead and take a sip right about now. Or 2 or 3. So for the eyes, I bought these palettes so long ago. So first I bought, so these are the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop palettes. There are 6 total, and I got the Cherry on Top, which is the reddy, pinky, slightly orangey one. I got the Cotton Candy, which is beautifully pinks, blues, lavenders. I got the Sweet Bubblegum, which is the blue one, and Pistachio, which is the green one. Of the entire collection, the only ones I didn't get was the neutral one, the brownie one, and the orangey one, funny enough. I picked up the Cotton Candy and the Cherry on Top during the first round, and these were the only 2 that were available, so I grabbed those 2 because all the reviews were saying how wonderful these were. And BH Cosmetics eyeshadows have been doing really well lately. And then they restocked everything, and I only picked up the green and the blue because, again, I didn't want the neutral one. I have so many neutral palettes, and I rarely just run for a neutral palette. And the orangey one, I don't know why I didn't get the orangey one. Maybe I thought I had too many warm palettes, but I didn't get that one. If these are still available, I'll link them down below. I haven't personally tried them myself yet. I'm going to try one now, but they have been getting rave reviews. People have been clamoring for this to restock, and they restocked it. This was supposed to be a summertime limited edition, and they brought it back because people were, you have to bring this back, it's amazing. So for today's look, we're going to use the Cherry on Top, and these are the colors on the inside. Now tell me this doesn't go perfectly with our cocktail. Our cocktail is a little bit more orangey, but especially with these 4 colors over here, I think it goes perfectly. You see the color? It's a little darker on camera than actually, looks a little darker on camera than it actually is. But this is the palette that we're going to use, inspired by our cocktail. So with this palette, I'm just going to dive right in. I'm literally going to use every color in this palette. Every color. I'm just going to slap them all on my eyes. So let's go. Okay, I'm going to start with Tarte on this small blending brush right in the crease. It's gonna go right in the crease with it. It's nice and bright. There's a little bit of fallout. Nothing to be too concerned with. I welcome fallout if it means my eyeshadow is going to be pigmented. So I usually do my eyes first. It's a really pretty orangey red. Okay, now I'm going to get a bigger blending brush and I'm going to go into Wild Cherry and blend that out. So since we're talking about bartending and being in the service industry, have any of you guys are you guys in the service industry? Have you been in the service industry? Do you have any nightmare stories you want to share with us? When I bartended, it was through college, so it was like 15-20 years ago. Yes, I'm aging myself. But you know, things were a little bit different. There was no social media. This was before I even joined social media. I started before I joined social media. I didn't join Facebook until 2007, I want to say. And I bartended up until 2005-ish. 2005, 2006. But yeah, being a female bartender, and luckily I was in a pretty nice town. When I started, I wasn't in a nice town. It was like in the hood. And it was actually way more fun than when I went to a more upscale bar, because there were way more politics and with the management. In the hood bar, like I, ran everything. But in the upscale bar, they wanted to follow rules. And I mean, I have so many stories when it comes to my bartending life. My best friend, the one who owns Julian Vine, that's how I met her. I met her bartending at the more upscale restaurant, and we can tell you so many stories, honey. Now I'm going to take an even bigger blending brush with, ooh, that is powdery, with Sunday, the lightest color, and blend everything out. Ooh, that is powdery and all over the place. But yeah, we could tell you some stories from bartending, some characters. So yeah, so if you are in the service industry or you've been in the service industry and you have any horror stories, to me, my biggest horror story was being followed to my car. We had to get security to take you to your car. Weird people will be standing at my car at 4 o'clock in the morning waiting for me. It was just really weird and unsafe. And the funny thing is, I didn't feel as unsafe as I do now. Like now, if I go out and there's no valet parking or the parking isn't close by, I'm not walking to go anywhere in the streets. I mean, not, Corona times, but I'm not walking to go anywhere in the streets past midnight by myself. Not happening. You become hyper aware as you get older. But, being 22, 23, it was really up until people were like trying to follow me home is when I really started, making sure that security followed me to my car. And a couple of times we would have drunk patrons waiting for me at my car. And this is hours after the place closed. Like the place closed at like 1:45, 2 o'clock. We're leaving at damn near 4 o'clock and like you're waiting for me at my car. Crazy. And I'm sure that sort of thing still happens to like servers today. Thank goodness for things like social media where we can share our stories and help everybody be aware of the craziness that goes on. Okay, now I'm going to take this really tiny blending brush and go into this deepest color, sprinkles, and deepen up the outer V and my crease. But, other than the craziness and the slightly unsafe situation, I had a lot of fun. It taught me a lot. It definitely taught me life skills that I'm still using today. I still make cocktails and experiment with cocktails and flavors. I love going to bars that have craft cocktails and really new and innovative flavors and techniques. Pre-COVID, babies. I would hit up these bars in this city and it would always be just these I would always look for places that had really, really inventive cocktails, and not just the cocktails, but the way they serve it, like, speakeasies, just really, really interesting and inventive things when it comes to cocktails. I love doing tastings, love learning about new flavor profiles. And then when I'm home and I'm bored, I, kind of make them myself and perfect them the way that I like it. It's not just about getting lit anymore, where you just want to take shots of Soko and lime and stuff like that. It's more, you know, really enjoying the flavor profiles and enjoying the atmosphere that you enjoy your cocktails in. I think all of that comes with age too, because I'm not going to no sweaty club to drink no overpriced vodka soda. Although after this pandemic, I'm going everywhere. I'm going everywhere. I don't care if it's a sweaty club. I don't care if it's an underground motel. I don't care. I'm going everywhere. Everywhere. Invite me everywhere. I'm coming. It's going to be like the roaring 20s over again because chat. I'm so tired of this panini. I'm so tired of this paramedic. Anyway, so you can see the difference where I deepened up my crease with the sprinkles. Look at that beautiful gradient. And you see it's just, see the difference? Gorgeous. Okay, now we have both sides done. I'm not going to cut the crease because I'm feeling lazy. So we're just going to jump in with the shimmers. Okay, so I'm going to start with a Juicy. Put that on the inner third of my lid. And I'm going to spray it since I'm not cutting my crease. And they seem very glittery, and I want it to stick onto my lid. So we're going to put this one down first. That's really pretty. So far I'm really liking this palette. Really liking the quality of these shadows. Next we're going to go in with this darker pink right next to it called Maraschino. I love me a maraschino cherry. I think that's probably where my love for soaking the fruit in alcohol comes from. At one of the bars, the more upscale bar that I worked at, where we had a manager, she was actually a really cool girl. I think it's just the owner was an a-hole. I won't say the word just in case you guys got kids nearby. But she was really cool. She, you know, she pretty much knew what she was doing. And what she would do is she would take the maraschino cherries, the really oversized ones. You can get them at ShopRite. I see them all the time in Reminisce. And she would soak them in vodka. And then those are the cherries that we would use in our cocktails. And when I tell you, and I went to work, I would get me a nice little jar of cherries. And that would be my snack. It was so good. It was basically a cocktail in itself, without actually having a cocktail. And then lastly, I'm going to take black cherry. And we're going to put this right out here. Black cherry is actually not as dark as I thought it was going to be, but it still gives some good dimension. Now we're going to go back in with the darkest color and connect it to the outer V over here. If you hear all that ruckus in the background, it is so windy. And I'm sitting right by a window. So you know, if you hear all that rumbling, it's the wind. Right out there. Okay, for the lower lash line, I'm just going to go in with these three mattes, going from darkest to lightest, closest to the lash line and further out. Now we're going to go into Sweet in the inner corner. Seems very glittery, so I'm also going to spray this. And for my brow bone, I'm not going to go too crazy. I'm just going to go back into the highlight that we used and just highlight the brow bone. It's not too bad actually, given that these are pinks and reds, and I did my face first. And I didn't, you know, knock off the excess because I forget sometimes because I'm so used to doing my eyes first. But there isn't a lot of fallout. Everything is still looking good and intact. This is the eye look that we have so far. I'm going to go do my liner and lashes and I'll come right back. Not before taking a sangria break. All right, and here I'm back with the finished look. Okay, so to finish off the look, I went in with my Galactic Precise Eyeliner Marker. I have had this for a while. I got this in a BoxyCharm, and I can't believe I haven't spoken about this before, but I really like this liquid liner. Normally I prefer liners that have a brush tip, not a felt tip, but this tip is long and skinny and very flexible, unlike a lot of other felt tips. I figured I'll talk about it now because it's almost done. And I got this in my heyday in BoxyCharm when they were sending me literally a black liner every month. But this, it's really nice and matte, nice and juicy, no skipping, just goes on so easy. I think this is really good for beginners because I feel like it makes putting on my wing really easy. It's not juicy, it's not too juicy, not all over the place, dries down pretty quickly, and I really enjoyed using this liner, so I figured I would mention it. So if ever I run out of liners in the distant future, this would be one that I would think of repurchasing. And of course, my mascara, my new favorite, my Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions. I don't like this so much for my upper lashes. I haven't actually used it on my upper lashes alone. I love this for my lower lash. Look at this. You see more than 4 lashes. Look at that. It's one of the few mascaras that actually does that for my lower lashes. Y'all know I only got 4. But look, it looks like 8 now. Anyway, and these eyelashes, these are the Beauty Creations 3D Foam Ink Lashes in Shook, and I am shook. These lashes are beautiful. They are nice and thick and fluffy. They're not too long and exaggerated, but they're opening up my eyes. It's not covering up the makeup. It just gives it a nice touch to the makeup. And when I tell you, this was so easy to put on. It just bloop, went on. Now, I have been putting on lashes for a long time. I'm pretty much a pro putting on lashes. And I have an easy time. But when I tell you these were easy to put on, so easy, so comfortable. The band, I think it might be a cotton band because it's so comfortable. And I really enjoyed just putting these lashes on. So, I got these during a Black Friday holiday sale a while ago. I got a whole bunch of Beauty Creations that I have to try out, but so far I really enjoyed these lashes. Again, the 3D Foam Ink Lashes in Shook. All right, and to finish off with the BH palette, the Sweet Chopped Cherry on top. Really enjoyed this palette. Love the look that we came up with. You guys know I love me any reds, pinks, burgundies. That's my jam, so this is me all the way. Absolutely love it. Super excited to try out the other palettes, of course. And the cheek palette, I've used it before. I like it. Pretty much the same quality as the eyeshadows. Really good quality. Really nice and pigmented. Smells nice. Does this one smell like ice cream? I didn't even check. Nope, doesn't smell like ice cream. Missed opportunity. And then, of course, the star of our show. I mean, looking at it now, it doesn't quite match, but it doesn't need to match. It just needs to inspire our look, and it definitely inspired my look. Nice orange sangria, very tasty. Yes, I refilled my glass. I'll be sipping on this for the rest of the afternoon. You're watching this on Friday night, but it's very early Thursday afternoon for me, but it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Don't judge me. Yeah, that's it. That's our look and that's our cocktail. Please let me know down below if you enjoyed this. Give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know all your thoughts below. Tell me all your crazy stories. If you have any crazy service industry stories, let me know if you tried making the sangria. If you make it, tag me on Instagram. I would love to see. Also, let me know what you think of this look and what do you think about us starting this series going forward. Let me know all that good stuff down in the comments. And again, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.